If you're under 40 years old, these 10 money moves will determine whether you build wealth or chase it for the rest of your life. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Casey Marx. I'm the founder of Crown Haven, Bull Baron, Pinecone, Annuity Lock. I've spent the last 15 years of my life dedicated to helping families navigate financial issues. I've spent 60,000 hours helping these real families undo the damage caused by bad advice during their younger years, delayed action that they didn't take, trusting the wrong people. This mission started watching my widowed mother when I was 15 years old after my father passed away, get failed by a system built to profit off of her confusion, her dependency. And I built my companies as a result of all of this, like almost Sisyphus rolling a ball up a hill. At each turn, I would see another problem, so I'd build another company. That's why I've got 4. My tell-all book, Inheritance, I suggest you pick it up. More than anything, I want you to know that there's somebody in this industry that's seen it all, that cares, and that wants you to know the truth. Until then, subscribe, share, follow me at Real Casey A. Marx on X, because I'm giving you, right now, what I wish somebody gave me at 18. And whenever I meet a client at 60, and they say, man, I wish I would have met you when I was 32. This is what I would have told them. Let's talk about those 10 money moves that every young investor must make. The lie you are told is that you're young, you have time. Just wait until you make more money to invest or save. You don't need to be thinking about retirement yet. Or that might be a lie you're telling yourself in your own head because, you're building a family or whatever. These are lies. For you, time is anybody's greatest asset. But with regard to your money, it is your greatest asset. And the system is hoping you're going to waste it. Every dollar you invest in your 20s is a soldier that fights for you for decades. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have 2 people. One person saves $100 a month from the time they're 20 to the time they're 30. Another person saves $100 a month from their time they're 30 all the way until they're 65. They both retire at 65. Who has more money? Do the math on this yourself. Assuming the same compounding rate of return, the person that started at 20. Why? Time, an extra 10 years, okay? So here are the 10 money moves. First, you have to master your cash flow. Has anybody taught you to balance a checkbook, or is it all digital? There's something magical that happens when you put pen to paper. There's a connection. You could probably see somebody else on a podcast talking about this. There's a neuro link, no pun intended, between writing something down, visualizing it, and making it a permanent imprint in your mind. Master your cash flow, balance your damn checkbook. You can't invest what you can't see. You need a real system, not your vibes, okay? That will allow you to build a 3 to 6 month cash reserve. This prevents you from going into a credit card debt spiral, financial panic, paying some bank 30%. Liquidity is freedom. Once you do that, automate your investing. Don't rely on motivation. DoorDash is going to feel more important to you than investing. Behavioral. What is most important to me right now is what is most urgent in front of me. And we have base human needs, man, and hunger is going to win out over investing. And you're going to pay the $4.99 delivery fee. And that $4.99 in a great company, dude, even the $4.99. Okay? Wealth is built automatically, not emotionally. Own equities early. The beautiful thing about being 20 is that it doesn't matter what they're trading at, man. Like, obviously you want to be smart. Obviously you don't want to invest in something when it's trading at X forward multiples and, 2 standard deviations above a historically valued market. And you want to be a little smart about it, but dude, just get in the game and do it consistently because you're dollar cost averaging the entire way, assuming you stay with the same companies or even an index. If you're young, you need exposure to innovation, productivity, global growth, the compounding engines that equities provide. Look at the future. It's not so complicated. Where's the future headed? Own the bottlenecks. Own the we can't live without those bottlenecks, the things that allow the future to be the future. Own those. Once you make $100,000, I don't mean like it's your salary. I mean like you've got $100,000. Treat it like it's sacred. This is the hardest amount of money you will ever earn in your life. Your first $100,000 will be the hardest amount. Your first million will feel like the most difficult if you ever get there. But your 100,000, holy shit, that is going to be the hardest grind of your life. Once you do, compounding takes over, man. You don't need to make yourself a self-made millionaire doing other stuff. Compounding can take over for you. Avoid high interest rate debt like it's poison, because it is. It just straight up is. If you watch any of my other videos on quantitative easing, on inflation, on debt cycles, on, okay, now you're paying off 30% credit card debt on some like North Face jacket you got, don't do that. Invest in your skills even more than you invest in your portfolio. Your income, your ability to thrive in any environment, make yourself useful to anybody. That is your first and primary and best asset class over your investments. You are your greatest investment. Knowledge is how you get there. Continually learn. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. Master skills. There are different skills. Look at the world. What does the world need? Become that person. It's no different than when you're looking for, I mean, here's an analogy. It's like things changed for me personally, just from a relationship standpoint, when I started looking at, well, I have this ideal version of a girl. And, you know, I honestly never really had trouble in this department because like I was a lead singer of a band and, you know, I played sports in high school and all that stuff. I'm the guy that, you know, just sound like a jerk right now, but it's like, I didn't have to try that hard. So then like I hit my mid-20s, I'm running a business and all of a sudden I don't have any game. And I'm wondering why the girls that I think are awesome aren't, you know, thinking I'm awesome. And I look back at those photos of myself and it's like, well, dude, you were 235 pounds because you were running a business, eating Big Macs every day, driving around, schlepping around in a 2005 Honda Civic. Okay, well, that's probably not helpful. It's like, what does that tell, you know, your life partner about how you care about yourself? Are you going to be around when you're 55 or are you going to die like your father did at 54? Right? So be the person that you want your ideal partner to want you to be. It's the same thing with business. Be the ideal person that the economy wants you to be. Build those skills, build that knowledge. And all the other rules that I already said, do those too, okay? But also work on yourself. Never stop working on yourself. Start retirement planning now, not later. And know you're not anxious and know you're not nuts for doing it. And if your friends aren't doing it and they're looking at you like you're the crazy guy doing it, who cares? They're average. Do you want to be average or do you want to be awesome? Do you want to be the best? Do you want to chase perfection so you catch excellence? Plan now. Because here's the deal. You can't catch up after age 40 without taking massive risk. I run into these folks. We disqualify prospects at my main firm, Crown Haven, which is predominantly a retirement planning firm. When I've got a guy who is the frickin', what do you call it, the valedictorian of his high school, got a full ride to a prominent university, graduated, and he's my outreach specialist here. And he talks to 1,000 people a week that call into our firm that want to work with us, okay? And he disqualifies people that are in their 50s that haven't saved. Why? Because we know we can't help them. It's not that they don't have money, it's we know we can't do what we are good at unless I try to create a millionaire out of somebody who's got nothing. And the only way to do that is to take massive amounts of speculative risk. Don't be that guy. That guy's usually the guy who was out spending money on boats and all sorts of stuff, thinking life was gonna last forever. Then he woke up one day and went, oh shit, I'm gonna retire. Don't do that. As you're doing this, build optionality. This is the secret weapon that the ultra wealthy use. And yes, I didn't say this in my intro, I've sat down with the billionaires. I've had A5 Wagyu with them on frickin' islands in the Caribbean, Nevis, right? Like, I've shared breakfast with these folks. I've been talking to them when the President of the United States calls them for advice, all right? You think they've only got one asset class? Why do you have to only have one asset class? What makes them so frickin' special? Build a crypto sleeve. Build out a real asset sleeve. Build out a side business. Make sure you've got a bucket of liquidity that's dry powder. Create skill-based income. Give yourself leverage in your career. Get after it, man. And then finally, protect yourself from yourself. There are so many books on this. Schiller at Yale University, behavioral economics, you name it. People get in their own frickin' way. Your emotions will cost you more than any market decline. You will buy at the wrong time. You will sell at the wrong time. Don't. Just make it automatic to begin with. And then have a structured investment policy statement that includes everything about you. Your goal return on an annualized basis, the maximum drawdown you're willing to accept. If you're willing to accept a 25% decline to your overall portfolio, including all those things I mentioned, and then your portfolio drops 27%, what are you going to do? Have it planned out before it happens. Don't let your emotions take over. Use logic, okay? The game is not about making more money. It's about needing less panic to stay the course. And it's about keeping more of what you earn. The power of zero is incredible. Don't go backwards if you can avoid it. And how you don't go backwards in a real sense is you build out optionality. You earn great income because you built great skills while you're investing over here. So don't look at things as binary. If your investments are down 20%, but you're still earning great income and you're building skills, you're up. Life is not black or white. It's gray. Score yourself on this. What happens if you do these 10 things? You build your own autonomy, resiliency in any marketplace. Ideally, an anti-fragile stance where you're profiting off of volatility because you have enough dry powder to deploy when things are at capitulation prices. You're building leverage. You're building confidence. You're building exponential wealth. You stop feeling like the world controls you. I was there, man. God, when I was staring up at the sky after my father passed away suddenly when I was 15 years old, holy shit. When I decided, and it was very quickly thereafter that, when I decided that the world was a canvas and I could leave it blank and stare at it and I could just let it do whatever it wanted to do to me, or I could paint on it and just see what happens, everything changed. Paint on the damn canvas. Do it. Control your outcome. Control the controllables. And know while you're doing this that all things are not controllable. There's going to be chaos along the way. This isn't in the list, but there's going to be chaos on the way, and it's going to come from 3 places. Imagine you're on a rowboat. You got a beautiful day out on the water. It's serene. It's gorgeous. You just feel at one with yourself and others. And, you know, part of the universe. See a deer. It's beautiful. How can that get fucked up? Well, a thunderstorm can start and lightning can strike right next to you. That's an act of God. That's something you can't control. Or some asshole can fly by you on a jet ski and just put a bunch of wake in your path. That's your community. Those are the 5 people closest to you. Those are the people you're following online. Those are the finfluencers. Those are your friends, maybe. Might be your significant other. Could be your family. That's a hard one. You have control over that. You've got control over what you expose yourself to. Or you could just be an idiot and row in the wrong direction. You definitely have control over that. So this video is about controlling what you have control over so you don't row in the wrong direction. The other 2 pieces to this are understand there's always going to be acts of God. Part of maintaining calm in those moments is that you accept that there are just some things you cannot change, and to have a written plan in place for if those things happen, how you will respond, because it's how you respond that defines you. And oh, by the way, how you respond has a lot to do with who's around you. If everybody else is panicking, you're likely to panic unless you are Buddha or Christ or Krishna or whatever, okay? So here are your 10 moves, checklist. Master your own cash flow. That allows you to keep 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund A quick note before I go any further on this checklist. I've seen people literally with the same skill set, because I've hired people. I did the math one time on this, how many people I had hired and I had fired over my 15 years. I have brought in and let go over 100 people just at my small businesses, right? And I have people that I've brought in that were making X over here and now they're making Y over here, same skill set. So if you're asking yourself, you're like, damn man, I can't master my cash flow. I can't save 3 to 6 months in an emergency fund. Ask yourself if you're in the right room, because you can have the same amount of value and just be over here, and these people don't value you, but these people will, and these people allow you to build 3 to 6 months of cash flow. And guess what? In your 20s, that's when you've got the most amount of optionality. Don't squander that either with employment. But don't make that jump until you got that thing secured, okay? But master your cash flow, 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund. That allows you to automate your investing. Own innovative equities early. Maintain optionality. Get to your $100,000 goal. Just get to 100 grand. The rest takes care of itself. Just keep automating after that. Watch what happens. You'll be a multimillionaire. It'll happen. I promise you. Kill any high interest debt you have right now. That is your best return on investment that you can make before you do any of this other stuff. But if you haven't done it yet, don't do it. This is probably the most important thing, and consistently invest in your skills. Because if you lose your job and you don't have skills and you have to tap into this investment account over here that you've been diligent about at the wrong time, you're just like a retiree that's withdrawing from their funds when the market's down and you're going to run out of money. Don't put yourself in that situation. Seen that happen a lot too. Invest in your skill set. Start planning for your retirement now. What do you want it to look like? And it's not just numbers. It's like, what do you want your life to look like? For you, it could just be, I want to have a little bit of optionality when it comes to travel. I want to wake up. I ask people, what's a perfect day in the life of John look like? It's like, well, I want to wake up. I want to go out and sit on my swing. I want to have a cup of coffee. I want to decide what I want to do that day. Sounds a lot to me like John just wants to be able to decide what he wants to do. And he doesn't want to have to worry about whether or not he can afford it. Okay, maybe that's you. Maybe you want a yacht. Okay, well, there are certain inputs to create that output, and you better get moving. But whatever it is, start the plan now. Understand what the output is so you can put the input. That all creates optionality for you. And get ahead of any emotional decision making by having structure. Know exactly what you will do in certain situations. In the worst case scenario, in the best case scenario, let's say your account is already $500,000 and for some miracle, it triples in value in 1 year. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if it's a non-qualified brokerage account and there's a cost basis situation? Are you going to sell? When do you take your gains? Because nobody rings a bell when the market hits the top, and we always go through cycles and volatility is a thing. Have it written down. Don't go off vibes. Most people don't build wealth because they don't start. They don't build wealth because they don't start early enough. And it's certainly not because they can't. It's because they don't start early enough. So, subscribe, like, share this with somebody. Stay tuned, watch the other videos. They all apply to you. Tell me what you think. I realize the irony in some of my videos. I call out the finfluencer crowd, and that appears to be what I'm doing here. It's not. I want to tell the truth to people. People deserve this. I have no incentive other than sharing truth. So if that's what you want, you found the right spot. My book, Inheritance, and I'm exposing a lot of things. And I was actually inspired to do it after I read the book Good Energy by Casey Means, which is also a great book, and it's about our healthcare industry. And I said, man, she's got a very similar story in different ways, but I mean, she saw it from the inside, and she was passionate about what she did. She was very disgusted by what she saw. So she's going to tell people about it. So that's what this is. That's what inheritance is, because we all inherit a system. You need to know how to deal with it. It's going to help young investors break free from this shit, okay? Be good to one another. Be truthful. It's all you have.